Hello again, everyone. Marcus here. I review stuff today. I'm reviewing the song Fear of Joy by Gum. As usual, this song comes to you as a request from one of my viewers. So if you would like to get your song reviewed, just do what they did. Leave it in the comments, and I'll be sure to add it to my list. To my knowledge, I haven't heard anything from Gum yet, although I do see them recommended a lot when I'm just like listening to music, right? Like I listen to things like Tame Impala and Pond and King Gizzard, and I feel like Gum is always kind of recommended alongside a lot of those bands, and so um, I've heard of the artist Gum. Again, they pop up, but again, I don't think I've ever heard anything, actually, any of their music, anything from them. So let's jump in again. Gum, Fear of Joy. Here we go. I like that a lot. There was a lot to like about that. I think more so than anything, that bass line, that consistent, just constant bass line, I thought was absolutely fantastic, and it allowed for that constant groove while things were sort of happening around it. So, yeah, really, really liked that one. Kind of excited to talk about it here. So let's break it down piece by piece, like we always do, of course, starting with those lyrics. So, says here, silent pose, arise, Holy Ghost survives. Fear of joy was all to blame. Fear the realigned, born to take to die. Fear of joy was all to blame. Fear of joy was gone, gone. If you've had enough of living, think of someone who loves you and stay. If you've had enough of living, think of someone who loves you and stay. If you've had enough of living, think of someone who loves you and stay. And kind of goes on like that for some time. So, to me, between the title and the really, I mean, the scarce lyrics here, to me, sounds like depression, right? And not just depression, but like a fear that something good might actually happen, right? This sort of thought that, well, really, that nothing good could ever happen. Almost like there are certain people, I'm sure you've probably met some of them. I know I certainly have, who don't necessarily want good things to happen to them. They're afraid of what that feeling might invoke, right? So to me, the title, like Fear of Joy, makes a lot of sense. And I think it makes even more sense, again, when you get to the outro, and it's just, if you've had enough of living, think of someone who loves you and stay, like, right, like it's that person who is struggling with depression, who can't ever let themselves feel joy, who then becomes afraid of that feeling of joy. But I think the artist and the lyrics come back to just like, no matter what, there are people who love you. You have to sort of give in to the joy, and it can be scary sometimes. I think, a lot of times we're like, well, if something good is happening, that means that something bad is going to follow. Again, there's those people who just don't let themselves feel that joy. And so, all that to say, I think, again, very minimalistic in the lyricism. But I think regardless, it made I think a salient point. I think it's pretty well written for what little we got. So for that, give it a thumb up for the lyricism. As far as the instrumentation and vocals go, really like the vocal style, very reminiscent of, honestly, like King Gizzard, Tame Impala, some of those bands that I mentioned at the beginning. Very kind of psychedelic, a lot of kind of layering and effects on the vocal style, but I thought it was really good. The instrumentation, though, I think is what really, really made this song for me. Like I said, that constant bass line that you get throughout the doom, 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 doom. Like that was really, really enjoyable. It was just so groovy, right? It made for a very nice, just constant groove throughout the song. But again, it allowed things to happen around it. I feel like I never got lost in all of the instrumentation that was happening, because you could always re-find that bass line, and it was just so groovy. So like there were like really energetic drum fills in between sections of the song. There was piano, there was some guitar, and those elements didn't always kind of come to the forefront throughout the entire song, right? They each kind of had their moments. And so, again, I think starting with that bass that is consistent throughout the song, again, allows those instruments to kind of come in and come out without feeling like there's too much going on, if that makes any sense. So I feel like I know what I'm saying. I don't know if I'm relaying it as well as I could be, but, I thought it was a really, really enjoyable song instrumentally and vocally for that. I'm going to give it 2 thumbs up. And then as far as the replay value, I mean, obviously this is one of those songs that I think makes the playlist for me. Just had a great time listening to it. The instrumentation was super, super enjoyable. The vocal style I thought was really good as well. The lyrics, although pretty minimal, I think, are relatable, or, we can at least think of somebody who we know who kind of fits the bill that they're talking about here. So, yeah, just a really good track from Gum. Honestly, this is one of those that serves as a really good introduction, because now I'm just like, I want to hear more from them, him. I don't know who all is part of Gum. See if there's any credits here. Sometimes there are. I feel like that. Oh, there they are. Okay, so Jay Watson, writer producer. Also, the strings. I didn't even mention there were some strings that came in at some point too. So, again, a lot happening. Gum is a solo project of Tame Impala and Pond member Jay Watson. Oh, okay. That makes sense why it sounds like Tame Impala, why it sounds like Pond, because this is all kind of like, this is a guy who was worked in both projects, right? So makes a lot more sense. All right, cool. Anyway, all that to say, great work. Really enjoyed the song. Thank you so much. What a fantastic request. Again, this is really how you introduce someone to a new artist. You give them something groovy to hang on to, makes them wanting to hear more. That's definitely how I feel right now. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the music as much as I did, of course, go support the artist. Go listen to their music wherever you can. And as always, if you enjoyed what you saw here on the channel, consider supporting the channel. Like and subscribe and comment. Do all those things that you normally do for your favorite YouTube channels. And then, of course, you can check the description if you'd like to follow me on Twitch, TikTok, or Instagram. All right, guys, that's going to be it for me. Hope you enjoyed the video, and hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now.